What's up, guys? How you doing? Thank you for all the comments and the questions. I appreciate it. A few of you asked me about playing through changes, and I thought that was a good enough topic for a video as opposed to just a reply. So basically, what does that mean, playing the changes or playing through the changes? Let's say I have a tune, right? I don't know. Just making up. All these chords, they all live technically within that D major family, right? So if I wanted to improvise over that or, create some kind of movement, I could technically just play D major stuff and I can get away with it. Like, it's not gonna, I'm probably not gonna make memorable, profound statements just sticking in D major, but you could approach it as like a blanket D major tonality. However, playing the changes would mean treating each chord as its own entity and getting in and out of it. You can play stuff that actually outlines the chord, right? Like, so for example, E minor, going to you can play like the D major stuff, where you can play like, to outline the E minor, Anyway, it's infinite, but the idea is that you're treating each chord as its own world and what it means to get in and out of that chord, and you can get, interesting with the scale. How do you start doing this? How do you get into it? Honestly, I think the best way to do it is by taking the most simple songs, painfully simple, and getting really familiar with them and trying to adhere to like chord tones. So any of these like songs, honestly, I think I used to overlook a lot of these simple nursery rhymes, like all these songs can teach you so much, really. And having a daughter really brought me back to re-examining a lot of it. But let's take something super simple, like right? Who doesn't know Happy Birthday? Apparently me. Sorry. I think that's a really great one. Let's mess around with that. Let's see what happens. See, I tripped myself over Happy Birthday because I don't play simple stuff enough, and it's super important. No, I don't want to save. Let's make a little track for Happy Birthday, right? Super simple, nothing fancy. To the 5. Back to the 1. To the 4, F. F sharp diminished. Don't worry about that for now. Right? So that's, with nothing fancy. Even that F sharp diminished is like, you can almost overlook it. You're basically, dealing with 3 chords, right? C major, G major, and F major. Now, let's talk about the chord tones. Let's just stick with the triads. C, you have, it helps if I turn it on. The C would have the root, obviously. E major, right? Yeah, E major, sorry. It's a C major, so you have E as the 3rd. Talking seems to be the hardest part about this. E, G would be the 5th. And on the G chord, G now becomes the root, right? We have some overlap there. B becomes the major 3rd, and D is the 5th. The last chord that we're dealing with is an F, so you have F as the root, A is the 3rd, and C is showing up this time as the 5th of F, not the root of C. So there's tons of overlap there. Let's try to make a melody over what I just played with only playing these chord tones, right? I don't know, super simple. So, I'm starting to sidestep now, right? I'm doing like little half steps. I don't know if you saw that video about enclosures that I did, or approach tones. You should check it out. I think there's a lot of really good information there about dealing with specifically this kind of stuff. Like, for example, if I want to enclose like the third, let's go to the third of G. All right, back to the third of C. Maybe add a seventh. So that's another cool thing, is like if a chord is going down a fourth, so in essence, if it becomes the fifth of whatever is coming, like C going to F, I can make that a C7, and then it will resolve to C. Or like G, when it goes back to C, right? That could really, even if it's not in the chord, that could really help pull you with the line. So that's what I meant when I played a seventh. So for example, now if I add a seventh, right? So try to enclose chord tones. So anyway, I'm playing like the most simple stuff, but the point I'm making is playing over these simple tunes is like the best teacher you could have, because you will know if you hit the wrong note. It's very, if you play something over the G that's not the G, because it's such a like, here's the 5 moment, you will know it's going to keep you in line. And then the other thing is there's not that much information to digest. So it's a good springboard. And then start adding stuff, right? Like you see how we added the seventh. You can add all kinds of stuff to reharmonize. Maybe that's another video I should do about reharmonization, but you can do a lot of really cool things to spice that up. Now, you don't necessarily have to have it in the chords. You can just play as if the chords are there. And it's a really great teacher for playing the changes. So simple songs, that's like the best thing I could ever give you. All right, hope you're well. Hit me up. Bye.